Oh boy. Alrighty. Good evening, folks. Let me go ahead and get this again. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Countdown to Green. We're here at the season finale race for the Sunday Night Freedom Freedom Racing Gen 6 series, excuse me. We're going to go ahead and get some drivers into the booth quick, and then we're going to go ahead and get this race started. But let's go ahead and start off with our first driver of the evening. All right, Reese, you're here with me. You know, this is kind of like one of the cooler things that we got to do in like racing overall, but we get to talk to some of these drivers, and coming up on a big race here in just a few minutes. What really is your agenda tonight? You've got that 1 point lead over Derek, and it's really going to come down to like probably much the last lap. And how are you feeling overall right now?
Yeah, it's overall like feeling tired, kind of long day. Excitement though, I'd say I'm pretty excited to see what happens tonight. 200 laps, Charlotte's a really long racetrack. It's probably gonna be one of the draftiest tracks of the year that we've had, so you'll see all 12, 15, however many cars we have tonight packed up together, majority of the race, and it'll be at the end it'll be like you said, it'll come down to the final lap regardless of points wise what happens, and yeah, just look forward to it. Can't wait to see what happens. Optimistic that we'll be pretty quick and near the front, but as you know, we have some really good guys in this league, so it's gonna be really slow to get up there. So we just most importantly get to the end of the race, and second of all, just try to do everything we can to stay consistent, stay up there.
Yeah, I like the word consistent. That's been the thing that you've been all season long. Just got off of your 8th win of the season last week, but I'm gonna let you go take the last few minutes of practice and then head into qualifying, and I wish you the best of luck tonight.
Thank you, Oscar. I appreciate it. Hopefully I'll be talking to you soon.
Alrighty, hopefully you will. That was Reese Schaefer. That was one of our contending drivers for this championship for trophy. Let's go ahead and get Derek Garrison, the next driver that we'll speak to. Derek Garrison right below Reese Schaefer in that second position, only 1 point back. But overall, you're going to still need to be able to execute tonight. I know it's a maybe not so long, like a very long race, but it is definitely one of the longer races of the season. What is your objective and end goal tonight?
First, have a lot of fun. Be here. I didn't think I would be here. Save some. Try to lead some laps and just finish the best I can. I mean, it'd be cool to win the championship, but Reese is really deserving of the championship. So, yeah, we're just going to run hard tonight, see what we can do. Hopefully, we get it. It'd be pretty cool, but if not, it is what it is.
And you say Reese is deserving, but I also think you are very deserving as well. I know you only have 2 wins in the season compared to what he has is 8, but we did see you last season here do pretty well in this race, ran up front, were able to kind of contend for the lead. Is it kind of same handling from what you're used to, or is it a little bit different out there? Just tell me overall like what it feels from the practice you've done so far.
Yeah, it's a lot different than last season. I think last season it was a pretty good balanced setup. It seemed like this setup is a little bit tight in the corners, and it's really wearing the right front out. So hopefully we can try to manage that and save some right front tire later in the run. and hopefully that'll help us. So, yep, that's about it.
Alrighty. Well, thank you for taking a minute to speak with us before you get in your race car and go try and compete for this chip. I wish you the best of luck, and hopefully we can be talking to you afterwards.
All right, man. Thank you.
All right, that was Derek Garrison. That was our second driver who we are going to speak to tonight. Our third driver is going to be the number 54 machine of Bryce Shoemaker. You are third in this battle with these fellow competitors of Reese Schaefer, Derek Garrison, and Joseph Kazi a little bit further back, so you're going to need to make up some points. How exactly, do you plan on going off any sort of different strategy from the leaders, or is your game plan pretty much just go out there and win and prove that you are a deserving champion?
Yeah, I mean, that's the only possible way to get this done is you just got to run the near perfect race, lead the most laps, win the race, and you're going to have a little bit of luck on your side as well. So no matter what, plan is just to go out here and win and at least prove that I belonged in the Final Four. So not even being fourth in the points, still ahead of Joseph. So a lot to be proud of this season. So yeah, just run the perfect race and see what happens.
Alrighty, well, I'll let you go ahead and get qualifying underway here, and hopefully we can be speaking to you in, it's probably going to be an hour or two after this race. So I wish you the best of luck, and again, hopefully we can be speaking to you after this thing.
Yeah, sounds good. Have fun in the booth.
Thank you. Alrighty, there are your three drivers that we're going to be talking to. We're going to let these guys do their qualifying, and then we will jump back in here. So we will be right back after these commercials.
Start time. We know what we gotta do. Stay the fight between the walls.
Time to turn the intensity up.
Fight to the end, no matter what happens. Good day to be in Victory Lane.
Green flag is in the air. Driving with conviction. Side by side, hammer down. The after-catcher will count out anybody. Who wants it the most?
We are eyes on the leader now.
He is driving his guts out. Wheel to wheels, they come to the line. Victory this will be.
Nobody wants it more than you.
Next flag is going to end it.
Does he have enough?
A dominant performance.
You're gonna say no, baby. Let's go!
Can you believe what you are seeing? Everybody pushing as hard as they can get it. One final shot.
Gotta earn this thing. Run here to the end.
It is all on the table.
A total 500.
Your engines!
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series in officially licensed cars engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Sunday Night Freedom Racing Gen 6 Series. We're here for the season finale of season number 3. Tonight we will crown a champion. 3 drivers that we will be looking at tonight as we are just wrapping up qualifying. Those consist of Derek Garrison, Joseph Kazi, Reese Schaefer, and Bryce Shoemaker. Those are your final 4 drivers, all going for a championship. This is going to be a very long and demanding race. We talked to a few drivers pre-race, so we got to listen to what some of them got to say. Derek was very formal and said that Reese is very deserving and that if he is not able to win, then it wouldn't be like I know he'd be somewhat disappointed, but I think it would go to deserving champion. I have to agree with him on that. Reese has 8 wins on the season. We'll go ahead though and look at that in just a minute. Let's go ahead and run down this starting lineup. So starting on the pole is going to be Derek Garrison. And that's going to be another point to his name. Joseph Kazi on his outside. Then going back a row, it's going to be Reese Schaefer and Aaron Kay. Colby Jackson and Justin Day in this 3rd row. And then going on to row number 4, we got Bryce Shoemaker and Jim Fox. Bryce Shoemaker, the last of those final 4 drivers, starting a little bit further back in that 7th position, so he'll have some ground to make up. And then in this next row, we're going to have Keith Shoemaker and Justin Levine. And let me try and get this camera focused back on these guys. And then on this final row, we will have Judson Curtis and Jason Miz, and then running out the field will be Eric Garrison back here in 13th position. So a lot on the line here tonight. Drivers are going to be giving it their all. Let's go ahead and take a look at this race analysis quick. 200 laps, 291 miles, no stage, all the way green. Pit road speed 45 miles an hour, 60 to 65 laps-ish on fuel, and 5 sets of tires. Race weather is going to be 86 with the trap temp of 89, 0 humidity, and the skies are clear. However, they will have to deal with some sun up until this sun fully goes down. But let's go ahead and get these drivers ready. Pace car is going to take the hard left turn and into the restart zone. Not quite, actually. We're going to extend it one more time. So we're going to extend this one more time. We'll get the pace car back out here. So sorry about that, folks. But that'll give us another second to go ahead and look at this real quick. These are our championship 4 drivers. Reese Schaefer leading the way with 8 wins, Joseph Kazi with 7, Derek with 2, and Bryce with 1. Each one of these drivers is very deserving in this championship hunt. And tonight, in about 200 laps, we will crown a champion to one of these drivers. And now we will get ready to go green this time by. The hype and the if you're one of these playoff drivers, the nerves are on the table and they are about to get unleashed. So let's go ahead and get this pace car off. Starter's got the green flag in hand. And we are gonna go green flag racing this time by. Derek Garrison with a strong start and a big push from Reese Schaefer behind him. Joseph Kazi all by himself there on that outside lane. Derek's going to protect bottom and not give Reese the lane to work with. Heading into 3 and 4. Kazi's going to fall back to 4th position. And he's one of those drivers that really needed to get that pole position, and that's going to hurt him a little bit in this championship hunt. Oh, and we're wrecking. And we're going to actually save it. But the caution flag is going to come out. No, I didn't get a good look and see who exactly that was. We'll go ahead and take a look here in just a second. I think throwing the right caution was a good call, though, even though each one of those drivers saved that. I could have been a lot worse from what it actually was. I believe it was a 37 machine. We'll go ahead and take a look here. Okay, so it did have to do with the 54, one of the playoff drivers, and this 37 machine of Aaron K. Maybe just kind of met in the middle. It looks like in 88's going to have some rear end damage. The 54 might have some damage as well. Those drivers were able to save it pretty good, though. But this 88 is for sure going to have a little bit of damage on that rear end. I'm not sure if the 37 has any front end damage. It doesn't look like it from this angle. So our first caution of the night involved what could have been a disaster for the 54 machine. Being involved in that early incident could really affect, especially, I'm not quite sure how much front end damage he actually got from that, but that could affect him into this run. If it hit in a certain spot, it could affect his arrows. So we'll have to keep an eye on that and see how it actually turns out to be. A great save by the 37, though, able to keep it straight with just minimal damage. And then we're going to go ahead and get these guys restacked and get them on their way again in just a moment. we're gonna head and take a look at the season 4 schedule right here real quick. No dates as of right now. We're gonna go ahead and work on these dates, and then this will be officially posted. But next season we'll introduce the trucks into the series. It will no longer be the Gen 6 series. It's gonna be the truck as our main vehicle. And we're going to have a really stacked schedule here, starting with the Clash at North Wilkesboro, then heading to Daytona, and then a new track that we just introduced to iRacing is going to be Mexico City. And then starting the season's playoff is going to be Iowa Speedway, and then ending it is going to be Homestead Miami Speedway. So a unique and really fun schedule. A lot of fun stuff to look forward to next season, but right now the eyes are on the field here as we go back into the restart zone. Derek Garrison leads the way, green flag back in the air. Derek's gonna slide right up in front of Reese. These two separated by just a point for this championship hunt. Side by side coming off turns 3 and 4. Derek's going to have the momentum and he should be able to lead this lap. Yes, he will. So give that to Derek Garrison right there at the line. Top 30 drivers, playoff drivers, Derek Garrison leading the way, Reese Schaefer directly behind, and then Joseph Kazi there in third place, needing the win to at least have a close chance at this championship battle. And being as a teammate that Reese Schaefer and Joseph Kazi are, you might wonder if maybe if Joseph Kazi gets to a certain point where he might not have a chance to win the battle, how much is he willing to help Reese, a fellow teammate? You know that the championship is more than, you want it more than anyone yourself, but if it can go to a teammate, then that would probably be overall a team win and a team goal. We'll have to wait and see what these two drivers determine is the best outcome for them. But right now, Reese is needing no help at all as he's applying pressure to this 8 machine for the race lead. The battle has tightened up. Reese has now gotten pressure from Joseph Kazi behind him for second position. And these 3 drivers running 1, 2, 3. This is showing how much of a powerhouse these 3 have been this season. Running exactly where they pretty much are in points. Going for this championship battle. Each with more than at least 1 win. Reese with the most of them at 8 wins so far, looking to make it 9 and also get that championship trophy tonight. And the question in the garage tonight heading into this race was, how much would these drivers get affected with that tire that they're running tonight? It's the setups, I've been told, is a little bit tighter and wears a little bit more from what we're used to in the past. So some of these drivers might not be used to that and might accidentally burn up that right side set of tires. So we're gonna have to watch out for that. You're gonna want to be able to manage your tires best you can, as now it looks like Reese is gonna get pressure from this 3 car of Joseph Kazi. And Kazi's gonna take second place away from Reese. And you kind of saw Reese there kind of give up that position. Smart move by Reese. Still early in this race, 15 laps in, plenty of time to get back up to the front. Joseph Kazi sending it in a little bit deeper that turn, closes up a little bit further to Derek Garrison's back bumper. And a lot of these drivers put in practice this week. I think I saw quite a handful of these guys, at least on iRacing, once a night, about roughly maybe once a night. So some of these drivers really hungry for the championship. Joseph Kazi sends it in deep, trying to get to that left rear quarter panel. Not quite enough. He's going to lose that front end and wash up just a bit. Lose a little bit momentum coming off of turn number 3 and 4. Back to the start finish line though, carrying a lot of momentum from that push behind him from Reese Schaefer. He's going to look high, run that middle lane, try and get a run down this backstretch. Takes a look to the inside again, and this time he will be there. He will get a fender inside. So these two are going to be side by side coming off of turn 4 for the race lead. Who's it going to be? Is it going to be Joseph Kazi or Derek at the line? Derek's going to be able to hang on to it for the time being. But here comes Reese to give a back bumper shove to Joseph Kazi. Still side by side, and this is going to slow these guys down just enough to where Reese might be able to reel these guys back in if they're not able to figure it out. Derek with that high side runoff advantage coming off the exit. And Joseph Kazi going to get a little bit tight right there. Get into Derek a little bit. Watch those two drivers up just a bit, but these two are going to keep in it and keep going. Derek's fighting strong on this high side, but you just wonder how much is there's a little bit more contact right there. How much is he wearing those right sides out? How much damage is he going to be doing for this long run? And it looks like Derek's going to send it in again, maybe back up the corner to get a little bit better of a run off. And yes, he will. He's still there at his quarter panel. Kazi just has not been able to clear yet. He's been trying his best. He was the closest right there off of turn 4, but just needed another inch or maybe even less than that. Now he's going to have to set it up again. He's going to send it down in here once again on that bottom lane. Try and side draft Derek off turn 4. A great set of corners by Kazi. That's going to set him up for a good 1 and 2. But will it be enough to clear? These guys are racing intense for this lead at lap 21. Yeah, these drivers are willing to give it up with what they know is on the line. We've seen them lean off each other already, continuing to try and work around one another. And Derek Garrison's probably going to be able to get the race lead. Yes, he was. He's going to take the nose off of Joseph Kazi there going into 1 and 2. So now Derek Garrison will have a little bit of breathing room to kind of set up how he wants to defend. Now not having that cow to his inside. Will he have one to his outside though? Joseph Kazi is going to switch it up here. And yes, he will. Joseph Kazi has that run off the high side. And where will Reese go with this momentum? Kazi's gonna clear Reese, not enough to follow his teammate there on that top side, but now he's gonna look to the inside. And I wonder if maybe Reese is saving a little bit more tire, not trying to push the issue right now. I would have thought he would have had a better shot at getting a run on Derek, but it kind of looked like he just kind of settled into his own groove and maybe not trying to push those tires too hard here early on. Allow these two guys in front of him to burn up their tires and maybe make a move on this later run. And it's not like he has any pressure behind. Fourth place is just about a second behind these top three drivers. So they've got plenty of breathing room if they did want to kind of lay back a little bit and save a little bit extra tire wear. And with this being such a long race, we're going to take at least 2 official full screen commercial breaks. So we're going to go ahead and take our first one here in just a moment. Joseph Kazi, your current race leader, followed by Derek Garrison, Reese Schaefer, and Judson Curtis in that 4th position. And we will be right back after these commercials.
Our time. We know what we gotta do. Stay in the fight. Between the walls.
Time to turn the intensity up.
Fight to the end, no matter what happens. Good day to be in victory lane.
Green flag is in the air. Driving with conviction. Side by side, hammer down. The interjection will count out anybody. Who wants it the most?
We are eyes on the leader now.
He is driving his guts out. Wheel to wheels, they come to the line. Victory, this will be.
Nobody wants it more than you.
Next flag is going to end it. Does he have enough? A dominant performance.
You gotta say no, baby. Let's go.
Can you believe what you are seeing? Everybody pushing as hard as they can get it. One final shot.
We gotta earn this thing right here to the end.
It is all on the table.
A total 500.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, to the Sunday Night Freedom Racing Gen 6 Series. We got a new player into here. Justin Curtis has made his way up through the field, currently challenging for this second place position. He was able to save those tires just a little bit better than the other drivers ahead of him. And now he's been able to chase down these guys, or he could be pushing, also, he could potentially be pushing a little bit more than these drivers around him. But either way, he's been able to catch these drivers running a little bit higher and middle groove compared to these guys running the bottom. You see him working around this high side right now. He's going to get around Derek Garrison for that second position. Reese Schaefer now working his way around Derek as well. And you see that 29 car working that high side. This kind of transition into the night is just about over. That sun has gone pretty much out of view of this track. You don't really see it anywhere on this track, as we'll ride around with Reese Schaefer right here. No more sun is on the track. This track is in complete cloud cover, and or getting to be in complete cover. Sorry, that was a word of words right there that I was trying to say. But I think the hardest part of this race is pretty much over, and that was trying to figure out that transition from day to night. That sun will play a big factor into those machines and how they handle on these runs. And now that it's pretty much completely over, these drivers are just going to have to worry about the cooler track temps. That'll be a different ball game. If anything, I think a lot of these drivers like a cooler track versus a hotter and slicker track. That's what I've gotten. And me personally, I also did like a little bit of a cooler track. It's going to bring these speeds up a little bit. And it could potentially make these cars handle either a little bit better or a little bit worse. We'll have to see how this goes along. For the time being, though, Joseph Kazi leading the way. Judson Curtis working his way up to second place, trying to hunt down this race lead. The drivers that we need to be worried about is Bryce Shoemaker back here in this 54 machine, back in 13th position, running last out of the field. And we talked about it at that last caution that he kind of got involved in. It could have potentially have given him some damage that we can't see on the front end. That could be why he's fallen back so far. But right now, he's sitting 13 seconds behind the leaders. And if you're a 54 fan, it's not looking good. Still have a lot of race left in here, but you're going to need to be able to figure it out if you're that 54 team. Maybe try and get off cycle, make some repairs under green if you have to. I know it's not ideal, but right now, We only have that one caution, and the field has been pretty spread out. And now back up for, oh, a little bit of contact right there. Justin Curtis got into the wall, trying to get around Joseph Kazi. And now he's going to lose 2 spots, well, 1 full spot, 1 half spot, and fall all the way back to 3rd place after contending for that race lead. And that's something that some of these drivers are going to have to be a little bit kind of careful for, is just because you are a championship driver does not mean that these other drivers don't get to race you. A lot of these drivers are trying to search for their first win of the season, or even in general, their first win in this league. And if that's the case, you just kind of got to be a little bit more cautious. You got to realize that these drivers in yellow, those 4 championship drivers, are racing for something bigger overall. And I think Judson Curtis did a nice job there, even though it wasn't ideal to make that contact there. He was able to hold on to it and avoid from making any more contact with Joseph Kazi while trying to save it. So a good job by that 29 machine. Reese Schaefer now coming live, trying to work this high side, trying to get by Joseph Kazi, who's been out front since he took the lead over from Derek Garrison. Derek Garrison is now fallen off these top 3 by over 1.5 seconds. Justin Curtis there with another good run, trying to work that high side. He's able to get around Reese for that 2nd position. Now he's going to have a big run here on this front stretch and go dive to the inside into 1 and 2. Will he get enough run to clear Joseph Kazi? No, they're going to be side by side, leading off one another again. A little bit of contact right there. Joseph Kazi's going to wash up into the wall a little bit. And that's going to open the door again for Reese Schaefer to get on by. Judson doing his very best to keep from hurting these championship drivers, trying to also race for his win though. And we have a new 4th place driver, Justin Levine. That last lap, he was the fastest of these top 5 drivers. Still a little bit ways back, but he is fast, and he is gonna start to reel these drivers in. And you might be wondering how much faster is he? Well, Justin Levine ran a 32.199 that last lap. The fastest driver out of these top 3 drivers was that 17 car of Reese Schaefer. He ran a 32.430. So Justin Levine is going to start slowly reeling these guys in. It's just going to be a matter of time and how quick will he be able to reel these guys in? I don't know how much tire he's used back there in 4th place to get around some of these other guys around him. But right now the show is up front. Reese Schaefer, Judson Curtis battling again for the 2nd position. Judson Curtis using this higher lane in terms of getting these bigger runs off. Has to lift right there a little bit. Maybe lost the nose off that machine. He's going to back this corner up and try and get another run on this high side. Powers it down off the exit. You can see the closing rate here is huge. Will he have enough though to make a move in 1 and 2? He's going to dive to the inside. Reese goes high, side by side for 2nd place. Diving to the inside again. He's going to get 2nd place clear this time by. Here comes the 37 of Aaron K coming off pit road. He's going to be a lap down on fresher tires. This will be something interesting to watch. See how big of a difference these tires are compared to the leaders. And you can see that closing rate is huge right there as they go into the turns. Aaron K is going to have to be a little bit patient trying to get around these drivers in front of him, racing for the race lead. Not really anywhere you can really go. You just kind of got to be patient, get around them when you can, make those moves whenever is possible. He's going to be able to get to the outside of the 29 machine and now potentially set his sights on this 3 machine to get at least that one of those laps back that he's lost under that cycle of green flag pit stops. And now he's going to be back 1 lap down, so he'll get one of those laps back. That kind of hurt Judson and the 17 of Reese just a bit. Those 2 drivers lost a little bit of touch to Joseph Kazi in front of them. Joseph Kazi now just about 3 car lengths ahead of these guys. And I expect pit stops to be starting here in just a few laps. Most of these drivers, I assume, would probably want to stretch it out as long as they can. Again, like we said in the pre-race, or before we took the green flag, it's about 60 laps, I believe, 60-ish to about 70 laps that we can roughly make it. I'd probably say drivers are going to pit around this lap 68, 70 mark since we did get that caution. Judson Curtis now going for the race lead, dives to the inside. Will it be enough here in 3 and 4? We've seen it time and time again. He hasn't been able to complete the pass yet, but this could be potentially his best run yet. Big round down the backstretch for this 29 machine. Where is he going to go? Kazi's going to kind of defend it on that high side, take the arrow off the 29. 29's going to be able to find that little bit of an angle though coming off the exit and get some clean air. So he'll still remain in tow. Going into 1 and 2 though, Judson right back on that high side. Kazi running a little bit lower in that middle lane. That's going to open up a big run for Judson in this 29 machine. What's he going to do here this time by? Kazi doing absolutely what he needs to do to hold on to this race lead. A lot of pressure from this 29 machine, but that has not gotten to him too much as he's able to hang on to position. And the different lanes he's still running is quite unique. You think that maybe Kazi would want to run a little bit higher to try and take the air off this 29 machine, but it looks like it hasn't really hurt him too much. And we're just moments away from getting these green flag pit stops in. And it looks like these two drivers, Joseph Kazi, Judson Curtis, those two drivers are going to be the first on pit road. A little bit of tire lockup there from that 3 machine. Who's going to be the first driver of these playoff drivers to make their way down pit road? Will it be Reese? Or the second driver, excuse me. Will it be Reese? Or will Bryce come down pit road? I'd be kind of surprised if Reese didn't pit this time by. And actually, it looks like he's going to stay out. So I'm a little bit surprised by this. You kind of really want to be in a kind of a 1 to 2 lap difference when these guys ahead of you pit. I know Reese is, I think realistically, Kazi has to basically sweep the whole points situation tonight to actually win the championship. So I don't think he's too worried about that right now. However, if you are one of these playoff drivers, you need to be extra careful on pit road. We saw it time and time again. Some of these drivers make mistakes and put themselves out of competition early in the races due to speeding penalties or spin outs coming off the pit road. So these drivers are going to need to be extra careful tonight. And now it looks like Reese Schaefer's going to make his way down pit road. Looks nice and easy getting on pit road. Shouldn't be an issue there for speed. Now it's going to come down to if his team can make those pit stop adjustments for what he needs, whether it's brake bias or just driver reset. Remember, this is a fixed setup, so you don't actually make adjustments, but whatever he may need, hopefully his team can get on and off pit road as clean as possible. No issues. Looks like they're on the right side, now going to the left side. And a beautiful pit stop there out of that 17 machine. So he'll be off and away off of pit road here. And to the left, to the right side is Joseph Kazi now. That's going to be the race leader, more than likely coming off of pit road. Justin Levine right now with this race lead after those pit stops had begun. "71 laps into this race, coming on to 72. Justin Levine leading the way. Justin Day in second. Bryce Shoemaker in third place. Justin Levine now making his way down pit road. So just a handful of drivers to go that have to make their scheduled green flag pit stop. And once Justin Day and Colby Jackson, actually I think Colby Jackson made a stop, but once Justin Day has made his stop, that'll cycle through the field. Colby Jackson, I believe, has made his one of his pit stops. For the time being, though, some of these playoff drivers kind of jumbled up with that green flag pit stop. Reese Schaefer leading the way of them still. Derek Garrison, though, now in that second position. Joseph Causey with a... We'd have to go back and take a look at it. I'm not sure if he had speeding issues again on the pit road. Remember, he had one last week that kind of cost him and put him in the position where he's at right now. Justin Day now making his way down pit road, though. But Joseph Causey having that his speeding penalty last week really kind of put an X into his playoff hopes. Still has a shot at it tonight, but right now things not going his way. Colby Jackson going to lead this lap again, and he will be the first driver on to their green flag pit stop here. So he is pretty much set and done. He's pitted about 10-ish laps before the rest of the field kind of started their first round of pit stops. Judson Curtis as well has a little bit fresher tires than the group that we were watching earlier. Reese Schaefer here trying to get some of those spot backs. He's going through wide around. Joseph Causey now behind them as well, trying to get around these two guys in front of him. And Joseph Causey being the last car on the lead lap, as well as also being the last car on this field, is not doing him any favors. Still has plenty of time to make something happen, but he's going to need to climb out of a hole if he wants this championship story to continue. And the 73 and the 29 out here battling for this race lead right now. Reese Schaefer 3.5 seconds back behind him. Then Eric Garrison, Jim Foskett, Justin Levine, and Eric Garrison. Side by side going to turns 3 and 4. The 29 with a good run on that bottom lane. Will it be enough to stick here at the line? The 29 is going to be able to lead that lap by just a smudge over the 73. Oh, and maybe a little bit of contact right there. Beating and banging going into 1 and 2. That's going to slide them both up the track a bit. Able to hang on to it, and now they're going to drag race down this back stretch. Still side by side for the race lead, keeping these guys pretty much on each other's toes while trying to get the race lead away from one another. That 88 machine directly behind them has a great view of this battle going on. Now, if you're this 3-car back here of Joseph Kazi, if you're the second car a lap down, there's nothing really to worry about if you're able to get a caution, but you need a caution now. Sitting back in 13th, I guess you don't really want a caution right now. You want to be able to catch that 88 of Keith Shoemaker, who is in front of him by just half a straightaway, about half a straightaway, maybe a little bit more. So you want to be able to catch that 88 machine and then be the first car lap down and then get a caution so that you can get your lap back. Reese Schaefer able to get that race lead away right there though. So he's going to take the point back away from those two battling. The 29 and the 73 made it look pretty easy. And now that they've figured it out, Keith Shoemaker is going to be able to drive around up top here, maybe get his lap back. And if you're Joseph Kazi, this is what you want to see. You want to be able to see Keith Shoemaker to get his lap back and then drive around and pull away from these leaders, and then you will now be the first car a lap down. And this 3-car would love to see a caution right now. I'm not sure if we'll get one with how spread out this field is, but that would definitely help him in his current situation. And the other driver who would probably want to see a caution is the 54, Bryce Shoemaker, back here in 10th position. About 20 seconds back from the race leader. Was involved in that early incident earlier on at the very start. We speculated he might have a little bit of damage, and it looks like it's kind of hurt his race overall. Falling back all the way out to the last few positions at one point, and now holding on to 10th position. But you're going to need to have more than that if you want to close out those couple of points that were separating you guys. And the last championship driver that we'll talk about here for the time being is this 8 machine of Derek Garrison. I don't think you'd be in panic mode right now if you're that 8 team. Still have a lot of time left. We're not even halfway, but you lost a lot of time at the end of that last green flag run. Pit stops as well did not help you out too much. and just continuing to be consistent, but not consistent enough to where you can stay within the other drivers in front of you. And this might be something where if you're his crew chief, you want to kind of coach him into a little pep talk, and maybe about halfway here in about 12 laps, you know, tell your driver, hey, it's all right, you have plenty of time, you have another 100 laps to try and make something happen. Things can still happen, drivers can still have wrecks, drivers can have mechanical issues, we can see speeding on pit road, you never know. But if you're this 8 machine, and if you're my driver in that 8 machine, you need to be able to realize that the big picture is still on the line here. Do not panic. Do not throw yourself into any more mistakes that may cost you more track position. Very safer, continuing to check off these laps, being one step closer to holding a 3rd consecutive championship trophy. But this 29 machine has not left his bumper at all. He's continuing to stay up with the 17 and apply pressure. He's in this picture once again as he's able to close the gap just a little bit more that last lap. And we're going to see a caution here, and it looks like Joseph Causey is going to be involved in it. I'm not sure what exactly happened, but huge implications to the 3 machine. The right side is completely destroyed. And what a turn of events for some of these drivers. This is what we were talking about. A caution can either hurt or help you. In this case, it unfortunately came at Joseph Causey's expense. But for some of these other drivers, it may help you out, especially if you're the 54 machine of Bryce Shoemaker back here in this 8th position. And you wonder if it's mechanical issues on this 54 machine. Are you going to take your one fast repair that you have, or are you going to keep it in your back pocket in case you have more issues later on? I guess we're not 100% sure if he actually does have any mechanical issues, just kind of going off of speculation. But a lot of these drivers are looking to make this their little stint to the finish. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at see what exactly happened here. I'm not quite sure exactly where it started or who it started with. All right, that was the wrong file. Let's go ahead and take a look. To go rewind a little bit. So I'm not quite exactly sure where it actually started. So a green flag under here. Still going around. Oh. Is that the 73 machine of Colby Jackson? Oh, something broke on that front end of that 73 machine. I mean, just going down into the corner here, just all of a sudden his wheels just went like locked up and went to the left and just sent him into this wall. Maybe potentially a wheel issue of some sort. Maybe a wheel disconnected. And that just unfortunately Joseph Kazi nowhere to go with that. Yeah, so let's go ahead and ride on board with Kazi here. So you see that 73 machine up in front of him just takes a hard right and just nowhere to go. And that's going to bring out our second caution of the night and also destroy that machine of Joseph Kazi. Back up front though. Reese Schaefer, Judson Curtis going to lead the way here once again. Green flag in the air. Good start by Reese Schaefer. And Derek Garrison as well. He's going to get a good jump on that inside line directly behind Reese. Single file out towards the front, but a little bit further back, we got a battle here for this sixth position. That's Jim Voskett and Jason Miz. And the 54 machine of Bryce Shoemaker. Able to get a lucky break right there. Able to get back into the pack here. On board with the 47, following this 51 while getting pressure from the 54 machine. And if you're the 54, you need to be able to stay within a close gap to those other competitors. He said he needs to run a perfect race, and right now it has gone not in his favor. Still putting up a fight though is this 54 machine. Gonna try and run this higher middle lane. Get a run on this 24 machine on the outside of Justin Day. Back up front though, Reese Schaefer leading the way. Judson Curtis putting on an absolute show right now. And overall, every lap so far, able to hang on to the second place from Derek Garrison for the time being. And now he's going to look to apply pressure to the back of the 17, running that higher lane where he's been running all night long. He's found a lot of speed running that middle lane. Hasn't really given up too much position or time while running it. Reese Schaefer trying to break the draft down this back straightaway, not trying to give this 29 machine any more momentum that he's already having. And look at this wad of cars behind him, side by side here, side by side there. Derek Garrison getting swallowed up into that mess, now back to a 5th position. I think this previous car, a little bit of squirreliness in the back. That's Joseph Kazi, and there goes Eric Garrison. He's going to go around. And we're going to get another caution here. That's the 37 as well involved. And I was going to say, I think this previous caution just kind of re-sparked the field. It really looks like everybody knew what they had now and were willing to push a little bit harder. We didn't see that out of that first run where those drivers kind of spread out a little bit more. We'll go ahead and take a look and see what exactly happened. I saw that 3-car of Joseph Kazi maybe got a little bit squirrely in that incident. But I'm not quite exactly sure what started it. So let's go ahead and take a look. Oh, looks like there might have been a checkup while closing in on that 47 machine. And that just, yeah, huge run by that 3 machine of Joseph Kazi. I think the 47 might have been trying to fall in line, just 3-car just trying to also avoid it. And, oh, Derek Garrison right there, able to come pretty untouched out of that incident. 37 with a huge hit right there on that rear end. We'll go ahead and take another look at that incident. Fine board with Eric Garrison. Around off that nose of Joseph Kazi. And then just barely clipped that 37 of Aaron K, who took a vicious hit into the outside wall. Both drivers, though, look like they're going to be able to continue to go around here and get their damage repaired. Meanwhile, back at the front, though, Judson Curtis has taken the race lead away, and it looks like he did not take tires there. So that's kind of a surprise if he didn't take tires there. I mean, everybody else looks like they took a set. Could potentially be trying to save a little bit of tire in case of strategy, but I'm a little bit surprised if that is the case. Go back and try and take a look to see if he actually did or did not pit. Yeah, it looks like this 29 machine decided to stay out on this caution, so a little surprised. We already have about 12, 13 laps of green flag racing on the set of tires. That could potentially hurt him a little bit, but this also opens up the door for some of these other drivers. You see Bryce Shoemaker here in the second row, sitting in 4th position, so it kind of opens up the door for some of these drivers. And if you're the 17 machine, you got your tires set, you've been doing what you need to do all night long, looking to continue to try and drive home to a championship trophy again. Your biggest competitor of Derek Garrison back in 5th place still has a little bit of work to do. But Peso is going to take this hard left turn here in just a moment. We're going to go ahead and get these drivers set back up. Green flag in the air, and we're back underway at Charlotte Motor Speedway. A great restart by that inside row. Here comes a 51 now, taking a look to that outside. Bryce Shoemaker as well, Derek Garrison. They're going to put it 3 wide on this 29 machine, who has not taken those tires that last pit stop, so he's going to get swallowed back just a little bit. That's going to move this 8 machine and the 54 up to 3rd and 4th place. Now the 54 making a move to the outside of that 8 machine. Will he be able to carry momentum going down this back stretch? It looks like he will not be able to make that run happen, so he's going to slot back inside behind this 8 machine for the time being. And now he's going to look to the inside as I say that. So he's going to apply a little bit of pressure to this 8 car of Derek Garrison. '51 machine working that middle lane, trying to get around Reese for this race lead. Reese continuing to lead the way though. And if you're Derek or Bryce back here directly behind him, you're rooting for that 51 to try and get around Reese for this race lead. Try and take away that lead and put Reese in a position to where he has to defend a little bit more against you guys. Right now he's just defending against a non-playoff car, so it's not really out of this world for the time being. But the minute you put nobody in between you guys as competitors, that's when you start to worry as a driver. And here comes Bryce Shoemaker again, looking to the inside, trying to get something going on this 51 machine. Able to take away 3rd place from Derek Garrison. And this driver, the 54, has been consistent these last handful of races. He's been getting better and better as these weeks go on. The more these playoffs go, he's been putting together finishes after finishes. But will he be able to challenge Reese for this race lead? Or is Reese going to be able to defend and continue to pull away from the field like he has been doing this season so far? '54 gets a peek to the outside of the 51. Now he's using that high side to his advantage, and he's going to get a decent run coming off turns 1 and 2, I think. Will he be able to get clear of the 51? Yes, he will. So 54, Bryce Shoemaker, 2 second place. Reese with a little bit of a block right there. A little bit more aggression coming out of these playoff drivers as these laps wind down. 54 all over the back bumper of the 17 machine. 17 tried to run him low, put a block down there, but that's not going to be enough as this 54 runs high and tries to get this run off the exit again. Will it be enough here down this back straightaway? Moving to the inside, he's going to side draft here. Side by side for the race lead. Oh, that 54 is going to get a little bit tight and wash up just a bit. That's going to force Reese to run a little bit higher than what he's used to. This 8 machine back here in 4th position, now getting pressure from Jim for this position, and then Justin Levine directly behind him. A little bit of a blink there by Reese Schaefer, I think, but that's all right. He's going to continue to lead the way. Derek Garrison falls back to 5th position, now getting pressure from Justin Levine. Bryce Shoemaker continuing to try and make something happen, running that higher lane on this second row, and here comes Justin Levine, making it 3 wide with the 8 machine and the 47. Maybe a little bit of contact between those two drivers. A late move kind of forced those drivers into a kind of awkward position, but they did a good job at kind of hanging on to it. Bryce Shoemaker again trying to make this high side lane work. He's got to run. Will it be enough though? I think he had to check up a little bit, but now he's going to dive to the inside. If you're the 54 machine, you need to be able to hold it down this time and not wash up so much. And he does a good job right there, able to hang it down, just not enough to stay side by side. And here comes the 51 trying to make a move. Maybe giving that 54 a little bit of a push. Excuse me. Now this 8 machine working back to that 4th position. 54 now pushing that 17 just a little bit down that back straightaway into turns 3. Derek Harrison now trying to put pressure on this 3rd place machine of the 51. Peaks to the inside, not enough momentum there, but Bryce Shoemaker with another good turns 1. Will it be enough off turn 2 to make another dive into 3 and 4? I don't think he's close enough that time by. Bryce Shoemaker using all that track right there. Back to the bumper again in 1 and 2. Will it be enough? No, it won't. He's going to have to keep trying and keep going again. Lost a little bit of time that time in 1 and 2. excuse me, falls back a little bit more down into 3, but he's able to gain it back coming off of turn number 4. Now the 17 using a little bit more track in 1 and 2, washes up, tries to get a little bit more speed built. And we still have to make one more green flag pit stop. And now the question is, when do you take your last set of tires? If we don't get a caution, that is, this will be the last green flag pit stop. And that would probably, I predict this to be probably around lap 40-ish, lap 45, 50, somewhere in there. I don't think a lot of drivers are gonna run it too long. I think they're mostly going to kind of split the last 100 laps in half, since our caution was at lap 105, so they can at least go to about lap 160 if they really need it, but I expect pit stop about lap 145, lap 150. Now the 54 running that high side, it looks like it's going to work that time just a little bit better, and he's going to have another chance at the cross right here. Saying into 3 and 4, will it be enough? Sends it in deep. He's going to slide up in front of 17. 17 is going to come back and make a crossover off of 4. But Bryce Shoemaker is going to have the preferred position. Will it be enough? No, it won't. So Bryce Shoemaker is going to have to go right back at this and try and take that lead back again. And don't count out Derek Garrison directly behind him in this 3rd position. He's the 3rd playoff driver in this picture. Bryce Shoemaker side by side for the race lead. Will he be able to clear the 17? He's going to try and set in a little bit deeper. Try and get that throttle down, still side by side. This is the best turn that he's had in a long time. Able to keep even with this 17 down this front stretch. But unfortunately, that 17 is just going to pull ahead a little bit more into 1 and 2. 54 is going to need to side draft a little bit more, because here comes that 8 machine of Derek Garrison for the 2nd position, and Justin Levine as well directly behind him. And this is going to slow up. If these guys are not able to figure this out, this is going to hurt them more than it's going to help them. It's going to allow Reese Schaefer to pull away just a little bit more. Bryce with another really good run off at 3 and 4. He's going to be able to get to the quarter panel this time by in 1 and 2. And I think this is probably the best position he's in. He's going to have the advantage in 1 and 2. And now Bryce Shoemaker is going to take the race lead away. And he's going to take over the race lead and be able to put his championship hopes into hope again. And that's going to hurt Reese as well, because that's going to give him dirty air, and that's going to open up the door for Derek Garrison to try and make a move. And if you're Bryce Shoemaker, you need to be able to defend Reese for the race lead. You do not want to see that 17 car get back in this clean air. We saw what happens when he gets the clean air. Side by side again, Reese Schaefer in the inside lane. Bryce with a little bit of help from that 8 machine of Derek Garrison. All 3 of these drivers running a little bit different line this time in 1 and 2. Derek trying to get that clean air, and here's the thing. Oh, he's going to slide right up in front of Derek Garrison on that back straightaway. If you're Reese Schaefer, you have a teammate there in that 3 machine of Joseph Costa, but you also have Derek's 2 teammates of Justin Day, and I think Bryce Shoemaker works with them as well. So this is kind of team versus team battle on who can really help out their own driver. And Joseph Kazi being a lap down, I think he's just going to try and help Reese out as much as he can. And you can kind of see Bryce is struggling just a little bit on that high side. You wonder if maybe he used up them tires just a little bit too much. Not able to get that drive off the exit like he was having earlier. Could also be just a draft package thing as well. And now it looks like Derek Garrison's going to be able to clear for second place. So Derek Garrison's going to move up into second place. Justin Day right there behind him, running way up against that wall. But don't count out these drivers behind them. These drivers are all under a blanket. 3 of these drivers going for this championship. Joseph Kazi as well you could include, but being a lap down, that's not going to help his chances. These drivers are getting dicey and maybe even a little bit of 3 wide action right there. Justin Levine thought better of it right there at the very end. Here comes a shot from Justin Day. Derek's going to put the block in. Reshaper's going to dive down to the inside and bring forward. I don't think it's going to be enough to close the door on Derek though. And Derek's going to be able to hold strong. Justin Day with the big push there to the back bumper. These 3 drivers, a little bit of contact right there maybe. That's going to get Derek Garrison out of shape, and that's going to allow Reshaper to clear up in front of Derek. These 3 drivers in front of them going for every inch and every position that they have right now on track. Going for this championship battle. A late move there by Derek Garrison. Maybe a little bit of contact right there between the 17 and the 54. Side by side for the race lead. Maybe even 3 wide for the moment. 3 by 3 for the race lead, and the championship hunt is on the way again. This battle is intense right now. These drivers are not willing to give up any track position. But right now, Reshaper able to take the point away from Bryce Shoemaker. And if you're the competition, that is not what you want to see. But Bryce Shoemaker fighting back on this middle lane, trying to get to the inside. And here comes Justin Day. Justin Day on that high side. What is he willing to do for a race win? Oh, and a little bit of contact between the 54 and the 3. That's going to absolutely kill the 54's momentum, and actually we're going to see a caution right there. So caution's going to be out. And I'm not quite sure what exactly this one was for. We'll go ahead and try and figure out what it was for. Looks like it was the... I'm not 100% sure, to be quite honest with you. I'm not sure if we had a call around or if maybe that was just a thing from race officials trying to be courteous of those drivers with that little bit of contact right there, thinking that they weren't going to save it. All right, well, I can't exactly figure out what happens. I'm going to assume that it came from the race officials intending not to be a wreck, and it wasn't. But these drivers are going to make their way down pit road. Reese Schaefer being the first driver leading the way down pit road. Derek Garrison being the second championship driver. And Joseph Kazi is going to get his lap back this time by, so he'll be back on the lead lap. Reese Schaefer's going to be out and away. Derek Garrison as well. And now these drivers should be able to make it to the end. Like I said, we had about 65 laps estimated on fuel. And we have about 65 to 70 laps on fuel. So these drivers should be like, as long as they filled up correctly, they should be able to make it to the end with a few laps to spare if we do have overtime. Now the question is, what is the intensity level going to be now that these drivers are going to be grouped out once again on fresh tires? It's definitely picked up. We saw it after that last caution. These drivers were racing like it was the last lap. And now that we have these two drivers of Reese Schaefer and Derek Garrison, the two closest drivers racing for this championship, I think this is going to open the doors for everybody, those two specifically, but knowing that this is the race on the line, if we don't see another caution, you are going to have to get this clean air and not be willing to give it up. Alright, pace car is going to get off pit road here, and we're going to set these guys up once again to go back racing. Reese Schaefer, Derek Garrison on the front row. Green flag back in the air. Reese Schaefer with a great restart right there. He's going to be able to clear this 8 machine. The 19 car of Justin Levine's going to be able to clear for second place as well. This restart's looking a little bit more calm than the previous restart, but these drivers still know what's on the line and what they are going for. Justin Day side by side trying to get around Justin Levine for second place. Derek Garrison jumping up right behind him, and here comes Bryce Shoemaker again on this inside lane. Oh, and he's gonna get a little bit tight right there. Able to keep it down just enough, though, to not make contact. Oh, that 51 with the wiggle right there. I think he might have hit the pavement on that. Oh, and as I said, on that front stretch just a little bit offset. And now here comes that 54 in that 8 machine trying to race for the position. 51 trying to set it in there deep as well. And Justin Day at the race lead. He's going to take the race lead away from Reshaper for the time being. But Reshaper's going to fight back on the outside. On Derek Garrison trying to pinch Justin Day just a bit to try and get that second place held off. And he's going to need to defend because here comes the 47 as well. Justin Day back to fourth position. Derek Garrison now applying pressure to the 17 machine on that high side. Will he be able to get a quarter panel? Yes, he will. Derek Garrison to the outside and for the race lead. The crowd going absolutely bonkers here. Side by side down this front or this back straightaway. Reshaper sends it in just a little bit deeper. Derek Garrison trying to hold strong. And we're 3 wide back here at the start finish line. That's the 54, the 19, and the 51. All under a blanket. 54 is going to clear the 51 and what looks to be like the 19. The top 3 have come down a little bit more, but the championship hunt is still on at the front. Reshaper, Derek Garrison, Justin Day in the mix as well. These 3 have put a gap over the rest of the field by a few car lengths. Bryce Shoemaker back there in 6th position. Joseph Kazi back in 10th. Side by side back a little bit further. That's Bryce Shoemaker in the mix, trying to get these extra positions, but he's also getting pressure from behind from this 5 machine, and here comes the 29 of Judson Curtis again. He got a little bit behind on strategy earlier and got shuffled back, but now he's making his way back up towards the front, trying to replicate what he was doing earlier by using that higher lane and use it to his advantage. Slams the door shut on that 5 machine. And now they're going to be 3 wide here from maybe a little bit contact. That 5 car might have done that 29 machine a little bit of a favor and lifted out the gas just a little bit more than what he probably would have done in the past, knowing that this is a much more crucial race to each one of these drivers. Oh, a little bit of a wall slap back there for this 73 of Colby Jackson. Looks like he's going to be able to continue on, though, for the time being. and Bryce Shoemaker into 4th place. Pressure from this 19 machine of Justin Levine. And then 3 wide behind him, the 47, the 51, and the 29. Oh, a little bit of contact. They're able to hang on to it for the time being. Great job there by that 47 and that 51. That was in one of the most no contact areas on this car, and they did a great job at hanging on to it. Bryce Shoemaker able to hang on to that 4th place over Justin Levine. He's going to have some ground to make up. He's sitting about a second back behind these drivers for the time being. And caution is out. I believe that was the 51 machine involved in that incident. And we saw the little bit of contact there between the 47 and the 51. That could have kind of made a little bit of a checkup behind him, which then looks like it resulted in the 51 getting some damage of some sort. We'll take a look at it in just a second and see exactly what happened and how he acquired that front end damage. I think he should be fine though. It doesn't really look like there's too much damage. The only thing you'd really want to not have is any like engine issues or too much of aero issues, because that will definitely hurt and slow your car down. And it looks like some of these drivers are going to make their way down pit road. And I'm a little bit surprised here. Derek Garrison stays out. Reese Schaefer comes down pit road. We've already had about 20 laps on this stint, and I'm wondering if maybe you're expecting another caution to fly. Looks like these drivers are going to take 4 tires here off of this pit stop. And with this not being a big field size, you just wonder how quickly it's going to take Reese Schaefer to get back up towards the front. But let's go ahead and take a look at this incident here. So these guys, the 51 fell a little bit back after, oh, it looks like he just got a little bit of contact from that 5 machine and just got hooked into that inside wall. Heavy hit and front end damage on that 51 machine. Looks like he'll be fine for the most part, at least. Take a look at it one more time. Just a hard hit right there in that inside wall. Not really much you can do as a driver in that position. I could have been somewhere, maybe just trying to be aggressive on side drafting and potentially didn't work out. Either way, the 51 got the worst end of it. All right, and now with that green flag cycle, you can kind of see where these drivers lined up. That 17 on Reese Schaefer lining up directly behind those 2 other championship drivers that stayed out, the 54 of Bryce Shoemaker and the 8 machine of Derek Garrison. So I'm really surprised by those 2 drivers' decisions to stay out. Pace car is going to pull off pit road here. And these drivers are going to get back into the green flag racing conditions. We're off and away. Derek Garrison with a great restart. Bryce Shoemaker not so much. Reese Schaefer, Joseph Causey all there as well. '73 of Colby. Jackson being in the lap car. He's going to come down in front of these leaders and also try and get out the way best he can, I'd assume. Reese Schaefer's going to split in the middle right there. The 73 decides to pull out of the way of the leaders. And now Reese Schaefer is going to take the race lead away again. So Reese Schaefer with the decision to come down pit road. He's going to make quick work and get the race lead away from those other drivers who decided to stay out. And now you wonder, did those drivers make their beds by staying out under that caution? Will we see another caution, or are these drivers gonna be in a hole for the rest of this race? A 29 machine of Judson Curtis here, challenging Justin Levine for second place. Aaron Kay in the 37 as well here in fourth place. That 29 has shown speed all night long, and he's continuing to show it here once again. Riding on board there with Judson Curtis. These four cars out front have made their pit stops under that last caution. Here comes a 29 machine for the race lead again. Judson Curtis applying pressure once again. And these playoff drivers making the decision to stay out after that caution. And it is not doing them any favors. Almost 4 seconds back of the race leader of Reese Schaefer. Judson Curtis coming side by side off of turns 3 and 4 with Reese Schaefer for the race lead, giving each other plenty of room, knowing that Reese Schaefer is in a great position to defend his championship once again. Judson Curtis yet again trying to make that inside lane work. Not enough momentum again. Reese is going to be able to hang on to that lead on that outside lane. But here comes Justin Levine in that third place machine. Reese Schaefer doing an amazing job at hanging on to this race lead, defending off his competition. But here comes the 29 again. A huge run on this front straightaway. Now sending it down into the inside lane. We haven't seen this 29 machine be able to pull it off quite yet, but he's still not giving up, and he's still challenging for the race lead. But here comes Justin Levine again, looking to make this a three-car battle. And don't count out that 51 or that 37 machine. Those two drivers right there in the picture as well, looking to get a win. And if you're one of the drivers back here in this championship hunt, like if you're a Joseph Cossie, Derek Garrison, Bryce Shoemaker, you want to see a caution fly. But these laps are winding down, and knowing you don't have much more to go, what more can you do to try and make something happen? This is Joseph Cossie and Derek Garrison in this bottom picture. The leaders up front in that top picture. Coming up on 21 laps to go in this season 3 season finale. Reese Schaefer continuing to lead the way and put on a heck of a season. And unless these drivers in this pack wreck, then I don't think anybody else is close enough to actually have an incident. But you never know. We've seen time and time again, a late race caution has always happened and flip-flopped the way that races have finished and how races have gone. We've had surprise and upset winners in the past due to those. Although a lot of this season has been dominated by the 17 and the 3 machine. We have had other winners as well, and right now you are hoping for a caution if you are Derek Garrison, because you are fading very quickly after deciding to not take tires after that last caution flag. And what looks to be the move of the race so far, coming down pit road to take 4 Goodyear Eagles, has paid off for Reese Schaefer for the time being. Under 20 laps to go. And Justin Levine's now, he says, I want my turn at the race lead, and he's going to send it in deep on his bottom lane, and he should be clear coming off the exit. See if he maybe decides to slide up, and yes, he will. So Justin Levine is going to take the point away from Reese Schaefer here, coming off of turns 1 and 2. But if you're Reese Schaefer, that really doesn't hurt you too much. Reese Schaefer, Derek Garrison came into tonight separated by 1 point. Derek Garrison was able to get the pole, so he was able to get that 1 extra point. But right now, Reese Schaefer has a huge distance over him and Derek Garrison, to where when it comes down to this, Reese Schaefer should more than likely have this championship locked up at this point in time. We'll have to wait until the conclusion of this race, because like I said, you never know, things can still potentially happen and change the whole outlook of this race. Coming to 15 laps to go, this time by Justin Levine, leading the way over Reese Schaefer. Again, if you're just tuning in, these drivers in yellow are our playoff drivers. Reese Schaefer and Derek Garrison are the 2 drivers that are more than likely going to be competing for this championship hunt, as Joseph Kazi would need to more than likely win this race in order to actually make the championship his, as well as I believe have a couple extra bonus points. I don't believe he has that luck, but here comes Reese Schaefer once again for the race lead over Justin Levine. Colby Jackson, the 73, the slower lap car, trying to get one of his laps back. Running a little bit lower so he's out of the way, and he's actually going to fall back in line to allow these 2 drivers to race for this race lead. Reese Schaefer back with the race lead. Justin Levine still holding strong right now, though. Yeah, Justin Levine not racing for this championship trophy, but he is racing for, oh, Colby Jackson right there with the moment. Justin Levine is still racing for this race win. He has 1 win on this season already, but he's looking for 2. And Reese Schaefer holding strong still on this outside lane. 29 of Judson Curtis looking to make his way back up to the front as well. We saw him very early on make that happen, where he led a few laps, and then was able to compete with Reese and Kazi as well for the race lead right now. Running in that third position, trying to get second position away from Reese Schaefer. Justin Levine able to clear out front. And we're just under 10 laps to go until we crown our Season 3 Sunday Night Freedom Racing Gen 6 Series champion. Justin Levine leading the way with 8 laps to go, this time by over Reese Schaefer. Reese still fighting hard to at least try and get this win, knowing you are in the seat for the championship trophy. How hard are you actually wanting to push for the race win? Yes, everything matters. Yes, the extra points do matter. Yes, the win would matter. But overall, bigger picture, you gotta at least be happier if you're Reese Schaefer sitting in the position that you're at, knowing that you are just a handful of laps away from being able to get this 3rd championship trophy. And an outstanding season by Reese Schaefer so far, looking to end it off on a high note this season with just under 6 laps to go. If you're Reese Schaefer, if you're his family or friends, you must just be nervous watching Reese come around these last couple of laps. If you're his teammates out there on track, you're happy, but you're also trying to race for your own race as well, but you also want to be very cautious. And you're just counting down these laps. If you're on that 17 team, if you're his crew chief, you're probably the most nervous of them all. These laps winding down, 5 laps to go, coming back around to 4 laps to go this time by. Knowing nobody of these championship drivers are going to catch you, just got to relax and be able to hang on to it for the last couple of laps. And I think this would probably be the most dominating season we've seen out of any driver so far in this league. And I think this would be a very deserving championship as well as we come around to 3 laps to go. This time by Justin Levine leading the way. Reese Schaefer, Aaron K now moves himself up into this 3rd position. And remember, Reese Schaefer had those mid-season surgery that he had to do, and that kind of hurt his chances there for a bit. Entered below the cut line, entering the playoffs, was out for a week, and now racing back around to 2 laps to go, challenging for the race lead on Justin Levine. Oh, and we got a wreck back here. That's Justin Curtis and Aaron K. Will that bring out a caution? And it looks like it's going to keep it under green for the time being. White flag in the air one more time around for Reese Schaefer and Justin Levine here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. And 2, 3, and 4 for the final time. Justin Levine is going to lead these two to the checkered flag. And Reese Schaefer is going to complete the championship season. Justin Levine, your race winner. Reese Schaefer there as well. And we'll get to speak to these drivers in just a minute. We're going to let them get into a interview ready position. And he's going to be able to celebrate his championship season. Reese, and an incredible season. Incredible race as well. What does this third straight championship mean to you?
It is just everything. I cannot believe it. It was really bleak after Michigan. You know, we had a really rough run. One of my favorite tracks, and it was, man, I was kind of worried that we might not be able to get back in the fight. Then we had a really good North Wilkesboro, really locked in, hit our marks, and then I just knew coming tonight with that 1 point advantage that I had to get the most laps led best I can to get that 5 point bonus point buffer. And man, what a race. I mean, I don't know if you had fun, but man, I thought that race was awesome. I mean, probably the move of the race was when we went into 1 and 2. We were 3x3, 2 rows deep. I mean, that was insane. I'm not sure what lap that was on, but that was just nuts. I mean, it was all around such a clean, super competitive race. A little bit of door bang, little touching, but nothing out of the ordinary. Nothing you wouldn't expect in this sort of race. And man, I can't believe it. Every time I win it doesn't feel real. It's surreal. I just really want to thank Bryce and you and just all my teammates and just everybody just put on such a great league. And there's nowhere on iRacing will you find such a clean, competitive race like that other than this league. And that's why I love running it, and that's why I'm hopeful I can run it for the next 20 years. That runs hopefully plus, however long it goes. So, man, what an honor, and I'm just so grateful. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, and you talk about you sound like you don't sound as too exhausted as I would have thought. I mean, like you were saying, that was an exciting race there, up until that last caution where it kind of fizzled out the field. Um, but the drive by you to be able to hang on was incredible to watch. I know you weren't able to hold off Justin Levine, but the bigger picture was the championship, and I hope as well that we can see you come back and potentially make it a fourth in the row next season for this championship hunt. Um, is is there anything else that you really like want to add to it? I mean, I guess I don't really know I don't really know what to ask you. I'm gonna be real honest.
Yeah, no worries. I'll just, tired wise, I was definitely tired before the race, but man, once it like got to like lap 20, I was like, you know, the second win, you know what I'm saying? Like, just, 20 hours of sleep I just got. I'm so wired, and I don't sound exhausted, but I'm telling you, I am in a pool of sweat. I need to change clothes. I need to shower. That race was so intense, so much fun. Just like, honestly, just like last year with me and you. That race was just so much fun, so intense. Yeah, it was. I guess I'll talk about kind of real quick strategy for the race. Coming in, I knew, obviously bonus points were big. So had to lead a lap, had to lead the most laps. Was definitely the goal no matter what. And finishing in front of Derek would be a bonus. Coming in that first run, he got up, he started on pole. Hats off to him, and then he had that really good run and was able to stay up front. And Kazi was coming up, and so he started leading laps. And I was kind of nervous about around lap 60, 80 because Kazi was leading the most laps, and I was like, man, dang, if it comes down the wire here, me and Derek both led a lap, and if I, something, God forbid, something happens and I lose a couple spots, I can lose this thing. So, luckily, well, unfortunately for Kazi, fortunately for me, he sped up a road, and then he opened the door for me, and then we got a couple caution breaks, and at the end there, took the biggest gamble of the season probably with 40 to go, putting new tires on it, and we almost had a wreck there coming to the end, but I just knew this league is so clean and so nice that cautions are a rarity, and I thought that if I lost a championship on that gamble, I wouldn't be mad at myself. That's what I told myself. I was getting tires. If I lost it there, I wouldn't be mad, and sure enough, it worked out in the end, and man, I'm just so thankful, and I can't wait for the trucks next year. I'll be here. Can confirm the 17 will be racing. And I've won a truck championship for in another league. But the truck, what I love about that car, well, I say car, but the truck is, it's one that there's some guys that can be really bad fast in it, and it's competitive week in and week out. And well, as much as I enjoy the North Wilkesboro race that I won last week, no one else does. And with a truck, that's not going to happen. And I think it's better for the league, and we'll get the numbers up, and I think it'll be super, super fun. The only thing I don't ever want us to go stray away from is the unique tracks, the choose rule, and just having a good time. As long as we keep doing that, which way I know we will, you and Oscar and everybody else in the league, it's it's going to be a great season next year. And I think it starts in 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, 3 weeks. Like, we're getting right into it, which I love. Just, not skipping a beat, and we'll get the numbers up. We'll get 30, 40 trucks in here. We'll put on a big field and show for you, Oscar, so you can get some, see hopefully some new names up here and get some more exciting moments. So.
I love it, and I completely agree with you. I think the trucks is going to definitely bring in a bigger and more different, unique crowd from what you're used to seeing, and I'm excited to walk into it as well. But you have a championship to celebrate, and I'm sure you have family and friends that also want to celebrate with you. So before I let you go, is there anything that you'd like more to add? I think you pretty much added a lot of it, but is there anything else?
Just I think Mid-Michigan Milk Producers Association, they was on the car with us running, and we support them, they support me, and I always love them on the car. I'd like to thank mom and dad, family members, my girlfriend Emily, and grandpa. They always tune in. They'll be super excited to hear about it, and I'll post a picture with the trophies once Bryce gets it in. I'll super excited for it, and like to thank Bryce. Puts on a great league. Him, Derek, all the admins, they do a really good job. commend how willing they are to try new things, and if things don't work, it's okay. It's the way the league is. We grow with this thing together, and like thank you, Oscar, as always, for a great broadcast. Can't wait to watch this one as I go to bed tonight. I'll rewatch it back, and yeah, it's I don't know why too. Just a little side note about truck leagues. You can have Xfinity League or like Cup League. You know, have like 10, 20 cars. I swear to God, you probably know this too. You put a truck. You say you put a truck sticker on it. This is a truck league. 45 cars jumping
for
at
sure.
you know.
100%.
It is just like, you know. Listen, I'm a fan of the truck, and in all reality, I know exactly why it is. Because if you can only race one night a week, what's the easiest one to drive is a truck. And so, you know what I'm saying, and the one that you can stay competitive in, and so I get it. But man, it's like, do you think a little bit? No. It's for every one Cup driver or Xfinity driver, there's 10 truck guys. I mean, it's literally insane. It's so I can't wait to hopefully we pack the house. I hope we get the field growing. And what's cool too is, you know, if we lose some numbers during the year, we'll obviously gain more. I mean, people love the trucks, they'll join anything. So yeah, I can't wait for next season. The only thing that sucks is it's gonna be. Thought it was hard to win a championship now. It's gonna be a tall task. It might be, you know, it's gonna be everything I got in it. So we'll see how we do, and I'm super excited for next season, and hopefully I'll be talking to you more next year, Oscar. So yeah.
I hope so too, and I'm gonna pretend like I'm handing you a trophy. I know it's really
man.
kind of virtual, but here you go.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Congrats once again, Reese, on the championship.
Thank you so much, Oscar. Yeah, I'm currently holding it above my head, the virtual trophy. So
I love it.
There's confettis across the room, actually. So
All right, we'll do it.
fantastic.
We'll shoot some confetti in here for you.
Yeah. It's extremist. Fireworks are going on outside. The neighbors are waking up and calling the cops.
We'll add
It's,
him here.
pretty.
I love it.
Oh man. That's awesome. Well, Oscar, to next season.
To next season as well. Congrats once again, Reese. I'll let you go celebrate your championship. And until next season, we'll be seeing you, I guess.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you as always, and have a good night.
You as well. That was your Season 3 Sunday Night Gen 6 Series champion. Congrats to Reese on a absolutely dominating season. Let's go ahead, though, and get our race winner in here. Justin Levine, able to make another start, another win, and tell me a little bit about what it's like to race a teammate there towards the end who's a few laps away going for that championship hunt, and how kind of you gotta maybe potentially have to change up your game and how you race them, but still trying to go for a race win as well.
Oh, it's difficult. We saw it today in real life, you know. You never want to cross that boundary, especially when you know they're racing for something bigger than just the win. I made sure to not lean on him, to even get close to his bumper. I wouldn't side draft. I got a little tight off the corner, like I can't help that, you know, especially with just the way the package is. But I did everything in my power to make sure we were clean. And if he wanted to give me the bumper on the last lap, it would have been gloves off. But he raced me really clean, and I'm happy he was able to win championship, and I was able to win the race.
Yeah, and it was you said it, you know, earlier today in the real race. We saw it kind of upset a few of those drivers, and having that mutual respect is definitely something that you need in this, I guess in this series, but like racing overall. And for you as a driver, I think we've talked about it the last interview that you had, but coming in here towards the later half of the season, just going for mostly wins, do you think the trucks next season is going to be something that you're going to be interested in trying to make a full run for? Is this something like where we might see you part-time again? Like, what are your thoughts on heading into next season?
The goal is definitely to run full-time. What my work schedule is probably going to be what cost me to run part-time. But with the late long as the time slot stays the same, I should be able to make most, if not all. But trucks are my favorite. I mean, this package definitely has changed since the last time I ran trucks competitively. But they're still a lot of fun to race and drive. So take something heavy that we could beat the crap out of each other with. It should be good racing.
Yeah, and I agree with you on that. I think we're in for a treat next season. Before I let you go, is there anything else that you'd like to add to this?
I just want a couple shout out. Thank you for such an awesome broadcast. I love going back and watching your stuff. As a solo man, you outdo yourself. I hope everybody understands how good you are at doing this all by yourself. There's so much that goes on behind the scenes besides just touching a button and talking about what you're seeing. And I got to give you so much props for that. Bryce and all the admins for putting this on and allowing me to be here, and of course all the viewers for tuning in. And congrats to Reese on championship.
Alrighty, thank you so much. I appreciate that. And from a broadcaster and an admin perspective, I'm glad that you've been able to enjoy your few starts that you've done with us. And again, hopefully we can see you next season. You're definitely a competitive driver, and yeah, thanks just for being able to show up when you can and race your heart out and show that you are here to win races.
Thank you.
All right, that was Justin Levine finishing in second place there. With the race win. I'm sorry, what am I saying? With the race win. Again, we talk about it time and time again. Justin Levine, a very fast driver. I've seen him race in other leagues and just races in general, and definitely a driver who, if he makes his full-time start and is able to go for full season points, I fully expect him to be competitive for a championship season. Going on to that, though, let's go ahead and get our second place driver in the championship hunt. Standing by with Derek Garrison. Derek Garrison just came up shy of the championship, able to finish second to Reese Schaefer. Just tell me a little bit about your night and like maybe what else you need to do differently.
Yeah, I mean, I had a ball tonight racing with everybody. Yeah, it kind of sucks. That last caution comes out. I was debating if I should go in or not, and I didn't think it was going to be another caution. I saved a set of tires, and I think that was the only way I was going to beat Reese if I had a lot of people stay out, which they did. And yeah, I mean, it was a good night, but just didn't happen.
Yeah, and this is not definitely you say it wasn't the night, but it's still overall a great season for you. 2 wins on this season. Completely different car next season, though. Going to be switching up to the trucks. What do you look going into next season performance-wise, and what exactly is your goal for that season?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do a little work on it all season. I don't drive the trucks very much, so I'm gonna have to get in and do some officials, get adjusted to the truck. I don't think it'd be much different than a Gen 6, but it's hard to say goodbye to this car because I've always been racing the Gen 6 cars ever since I joined iRacing, and I think it's coming to an end now. But yeah, I'm looking forward to something different, trucks next season. So yeah, we're going to do some work, get adjusted to the truck, and hopefully next year we'll finish one spot better than we did this year.
Alrighty, Derek. Well, before I let you go, is there anyone that you'd like to thank? Any sponsors that you'd like to shout out as well?
Yeah, for you, first of all, you for doing a broadcast every week, do a phenomenal job. Bryce, the owner of the league, he does a great job too. Congratulations to Reese, it's well deserved, and all the other competitors that come in and week out and drives good races. Shout out to them. I think that's about it.
All right, Derek. I know it's not the result that you were hoping for, but still overall a great season yet again. And go enjoy the few off weeks, and we will see you here in a few weeks.
10-4, man. Thank you very much.
Thank you. That was Derek Garrison. Again, just shy of the championship this season, but it sounds like he is ready to get next season going and try to make something happen with that. Let's go ahead and take another talk to one of our drivers here. I'm actually not quite sure which one of these drivers finished in the third championship position. We'll pull up Kazi. All right, Kazi. I'm not sure who got the position, you or Bryce, for the third spot in the championship. I'm gonna assume that it was close, no matter what. But overall, the past few weeks have not gone your way on pit road. 2 speeding penalties, I believe tonight was 1. I know last week was another one. Just tell me about like, is that just driver error, trying to get a little bit more? Is that maybe something with the car that you're just not accustomed to?
No, that's just driver error. That's just me being dumb. That's basically all I can put. It's me being dumb. And then,
That's fair.
What'd you call Wilkesboro? I had gotten one like mid pit road, and then I was already mad about it. And as I was leaving, I freaking got another. So that's what led up to me alt F4ing in in Wilkesboro.
Yeah, and it's a shame that it happened 2 weeks in a row. I will say though, throughout this whole season, though, you did put up a heck of a fight with the race. You guys totaled for, I believe it was 15 wins as a duo. So absolutely dominating season. I know next season, heading into season 4, different vehicle. It's going to be the truck, and we're more than likely expecting a higher crowd. Just go through about like what your off-season preparations are going to be and what you need to do as a driver to prepare yourself for that.
We're just gonna, be able to reset, take this time off, and maybe we'll bring a better fight for the trucks, and maybe a little bit less speeding on pit road.
I like that answer.
I'm gonna try, but I have a tendency to love doing. That's my go-to.
Well, it's not always a bad thing either. I mean, it just shows that you're willing to go 110% trying to get the most out of your car. So you can't really be too mad. I know with me as a driver, sometimes I'd be a little bit too cautious when trying to get on pit road, and that would really hurt, especially under green flag pit stops where you could lose tenths and even maybe seconds with those little things here and there. But overall, just I want to say congrats on your season. I know, again, it wasn't the result that you wanted, but you still were able to come out with a really strong season overall.
All in all, I had a great season. Like, you can't sneeze at how many wins we were able to take and everything else. But, it is kind of still, I am going to be a little salty or whatever. Freaking, I did mess it all up. It was all on me. All my, causes of, my own pain. But, it is what it is. But congratulations to Reese. I'm glad he was able to pull it off and get it done.
Alrighty, Joseph, before I let you go, is there anything else that you'd like to add to this?
And hopefully we get a lot more people to show up, this next season and freaking have a great run. I know you had to be excited during that race. That race right there, we were 3 wide, 2 rows deep, 20 laps in on tires. That was amazing racing right there.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. There was a point where I had to chug down a whole water bottle because my voice was getting hurt. But it was definitely fun to watch once we got the field grouped up. I will agree with that.
So hopefully we can have more amazing battles like that coming in with the trucks, and and this league can continue on like it is.
Alrighty, Kazi, I'm gonna let you go either celebrate or think about whatever you may want to call it.
Go contemplate my speeding choices.
But we'll get back to this in just a few weeks, and I'm excited to see you try and go for a championship again.
Yes, sir. We're gonna try. Definitely try.
Alrighty, Kazi. Thanks for taking a minute to speak with us.
All right. Thank you.
Alrighty, that was Joseph Kazi. Finished either third or fourth. I'm not quite sure. We'd have to see the official results, which have not been posted yet. But overall, heck of a season from him. We're going to go ahead and get on to Bryce Shoemaker, the last championship Ford driver here. Bryce, up and down night. We're almost able to get the lead away there for a moment. You led a few laps. Just overall decision to stay out and not pit that last caution. What are your thoughts going through your mind, and how exactly did this race overall go for you?
Well, I don't know what happened in the beginning. I was just so off. I was legitimately a second off the pace every lap. So the first half was just bad on my part. Just didn't come in here prepared. And once we figured it out, probably the most fun I've ever had at Charlotte. Racing Reese, Derek, all these guys. It was just one of the good night. Great. We had 3x3 on the front stretch for multiple laps in a row, and it was clean. And I knew after that first caution, which I'm pretty 95% sure I was the cause of, so I knew I was out of the playoffs. So from there, I was just having fun racing these guys as hard as I could and trying to go for a win. And you go up against Reese, the now 3-time champion in the league. You got to do the opposite of what you do. And, you have a league that's as clean as this one. And, there's no caution. So just all strategy at the end, but still just a fantastic night. I can't complain.
Yeah, and you talk about a fantastic night overall. I know, from my perspective, that race overall got really intense there for a minute, and a lot of beating and banging there. Lot 3 wide, almost saw 4 wide for a second as well. From a league owner and admin perspective, just talk to me about what the agenda and what the goal is for next season for this league.
As you know, we're going to be moving over to the truck series. So with that, you have when you come to recruiting, it's going to be very populated. From what I know, the truck is one of the most favorite vehicles on the service. So obviously the goal, it's very clear that the one thing that we do struggle with is the car count. We're going to hope for 25, 30 plus, but at the same time, you got to make sure that you recruit the clean, the respectful drivers, as you don't want a wreck fest to happen on the racetrack. And obviously, because say we had 30 cars tonight or trucks with that type of racing, I think we'd see quite a bit more caution. So you want to get drivers that we already have in the league, those type of drivers. So yeah, just focusing on the car count, cleaning up a little bit of the admin behind the scenes with the cautions and all that. Get the rule book just cleaned up a little bit more and see what else we need to do. But we're in a really good place. Super excited for the future.
Yeah, and I am too as well. Like you said, we're going to the trucks. It's been mentioned a few times tonight. I think a lot of drivers are looking forward to it and what the crowd will bring. For you as a driver, I know this was your first Championship 4 appearance, so I'll go back to that real quick. The pressure, I'm not sure if you felt any pressure as a driver, but I know if going back to try and get into the championship hunt next season and having a little bit more field to compete with, just overall, what would your goals for this off season be to be able to prepare yourself to kind of prepare for a larger field size?
Just practice more. That's just the one thing I just didn't do for the round of 4, which is just bad on my part, is I didn't practice. You're going against Reese and Joseph, who are the class of the field, and we got drivers like Justin Levine, Judson Curtis, those other guys that run up front every single week. It's just, you've got to be prepared for these races now. It's not the casual laid-back league like it was in season 1. Which I'm happy. Like, when I first started this league, obviously, it was supposed to be casual and laid back, but I am super excited for the talent that we have coming in here that wants to race with us every week. So next season, definitely we're putting in a lot more practice for these races so we can actually really compete.
And I like the sound of that, because a Bryce that practices can get dangerous. But we'll let you get on with your night here. And again, I know it's not the win or the championship trophy that the goal would probably be, but still overall, great night, great season. And is there anyone that you'd like to thank, any sponsors that you'd like to give a shout out to?
I want to thank you first of hand. Your first season broadcasting, I hope you enjoyed it. I think you did, but you've put in a lot of work, and it's already production-wise is one of the best out there. And this is just your first season doing it, so just bravo to you. Fantastic job. I'm looking forward to what you come up with next season, because I bet you whatever it is, it'll probably blow this season's broadcast out of the water. So. Thank you. Thank all the drivers that came out. I think this season was better car count wise. I think we usually end with about 8 to 10 cars. And this season, it was kind of up and down through the playoffs, but we hit highs of 18, 20 cars in the playoffs. And obviously, season finale, we had 13. So, thank you to all the drivers that show up every week, putting on good, clean racing. And I got to thank the admin team. We're growing every season, so that means more work is being put in, and they're helping me out a ton.
Alrighty, Bryce. Thank you for taking a minute to speak with us, and we will be talking to you in just a few weeks' time. Hopefully.
Thank you.
Yeah. I say hopefully. I want to speak to you in Victory Lane. Alrighty, drivers. Drivers and fans, thank you again. That was Bryce Shoemaker, the owner and one of the lead admins, I guess you could call it, mostly the owner. Hearing what his plan and what his goals are for next season, I think everybody is super excited. All the drivers seem to be pumped for it as well. So just kind of one of those things where in just a few weeks we will be able to get rolling again, just under a month, I believe it is. So I should think it would be about a month to this day. So not a lot of off-season time, but from what it sounds like, a lot of these drivers do not want too much off-season time. And I do want to say thank you again to all you guys watching, whether it's right now at a later time, wherever it may be as well. Thank you for tuning in. It's been a great season so far, and like Bryce was saying, I have enjoyed the season so far. It's been a lot of learning for me as a broadcaster, a lot of things that I really didn't know about at the start of the season, and I think, like you said, heading into next season, this whole production thing is just going to be double down. I'm working on a whole new set of overlays and just showcasing displays for next season. We saw a little bit of it tonight at the Countdown to Green. Had a little bit of issues there. Didn't quite set it up correctly, but I know next season I would love to have Countdown to Green be a regular thing, as well as a little bit of post-race action as well. So with that though, I think we got majority of it covered. Again, just thank you guys for tuning in, and hopefully we can see you guys next season, which will be in a few weeks. And we will have more announcements on dates and that stuff on the social medias. Again, we kind of went over it earlier than race, which we can go over it again if I have it correctly. It's right here, I believe. So the Clash at North Wilkesboro will start us off Daytona International Speedway. That'll be the season opener. for like officially points wise. Then we head to Auto Club Speedway. That'll be a fun, unique track in the trucks to head to. Las Vegas Motor Speedway will then be next up. Then we have Bristol Motor Speedway, the first short track of the season, points related wise. And then we head to Chicagoland Speedway and Nashville Super Speedway. Both those tracks will be, I think, extremely fun in the truck series. Then we head to the most unique track, I'd say, or at least one of the most unique tracks, which will be Lime Rock Park, Richmond Raceway, Michigan International Speedway. We return there again. Lucas Oil Indianapolis Raceway Park, also known as IRP, will be on the schedule. That'll be an intense race. And then our season finale will be Charlotte Motor Speedway. So even though it was a season finale this year, it will be our regular season finale. It will not be the season finale, though, next season. Then the playoffs will start with a kick-off at Iowa Speedway, followed by Texas Motor Speedway, Echo Park Speedway. And I completely skipped Mexico City up there, which will come before Charlotte Speedway. That'll be the second most unique track. Apologies for that. Anyways, going back into this, Echo Park Speedway is basically the new Atlanta, super speedway version, followed by Atlanta Motor Speedway 2008, so the more legacy, rough, bumpier track. And then we have Dover International Speedway, Talladega Super Speedway, which will be a unique super speedway track to watch. It always produces great racing and great finishes. Then we have Kansas Speedway, Martinsville Speedway, and then to end out the season finale will be Homestead Miami Speedway. And that's, I think, personally the best place to end off a season at. Homestead is always such a unique track and offers so much racing-wise, like offers so many grooves. It's really a driver track at some points as well, and that'll really get a lot of I think that'll be a really big headline for these championship drivers. Going into anything else, though, I think this is fully what else I got to add. I mean, I really don't have anything else to add. Again, those dates, we're aiming for a month from now, so about the same time in October, so around October 26th, might be November 2nd as well. But we will post those announcements and get videos rolling the closer it comes to that season. With that, though, again, thank you guys for tuning in, and we will see you guys next season.
Our time. We know what we gotta do. Stay the fight between the walls.
Time to turn the intensity up.
Fight to the end, no matter what happens. Good day to be in victory lane.
Green flag is in the air. Driving with conviction. Side by side, hammer down. The after-checks are lit. Don't count out anybody. Who wants it the most?
We are eyes on the leader now.
He is driving his guts out. Wheel to wheels, they come to the line. What a victory this will be.
Nobody wants it more than you.
Next flag is going to end it. Does he have enough? A dominant performance.
You're gonna stay down, baby. Let's go.
Can you believe what you are seeing? Everybody pushing as hard as they can get it. One final shot.
Gotta earn this thing. Right here to the end.
It is all on the table.
A total 500.
Start your engines.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.